everybody. It's our final episode of the... I can't remember what this long...
Not our final episode.
No.
That's not scary.
No, this movie's not that bad. We've reviewed worse movies.
Yes, we have. This is the final in our summer series, our Universal Monster
summer sequel Sizzler.
Summer sequel Sizzler. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
I regret that every time I have to post the episode because I have to go back and go, what did we call this thing?
I can never remember either. It was like summer sequels. Yeah.
So
summer sequel Sizzlers.
We're doing the Creature Walks Among Us.
We are, yes, which is fun because we get to dabble in a number of different monsters, which I love. I love a little bit of everything.
And this is a fitting movie to do because this is kind of the capper on all of Universal Monsters. That first big group of them. Like this to me is like the end of that era.
I love that
yes.
We're ending with this. And I think I mentioned this before. I love this too because I did not own really many Universal Monster movies as a kid on VHS, and therefore did not watch a lot of them.
Right.
So most of the movies we watched in this series I hadn't seen.
Yes.
I think I hadn't seen. This is the only VHS tape of a Universal Monster movie that I owned. So this was like my only childhood exposure to the Universal Monsters beyond random clips that you might see here and there somewhere. Right. So yeah, this was a special place in my heart. Yet somehow I remembered like none of it. So it doesn't have that big of a special place in my heart.
It's an interesting movie to watch. Like it's kind of we'll talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so if you want to write in and maybe request a movie for us to do, horrormovieyearbook@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought of this or what you want to hear us talk about in the future because we're going to move on from this after this episode. This is it. Yeah. At Horror Movie Yearbook on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I think that's it. Yeah. YouTube, Horror Movie Yearbook on YouTube.
Or Horror Movie Yearbook at Gmail.
If you want to throw us on. Once again, no video, but you can always just throw us on in the background while you're cooking on the YouTube. Maybe cooking, cleaning the house. We're great.
I love doing that.
Me too.
Yeah, that's I love a good podcast to listen to while I'm...
And I can go either way. Like if you've got video, that's fine too. I'm probably not going to look at you much. Like if you're a video podcast, I'm probably not going to look at you much. But if you're audio, I'll listen to you too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like us. But all right, you want to just talk about this movie? You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it. I did want to mention I'm really happy. Just before we move on, I'm very happy considering kind of. Hollywood has never 100% fully recovered from the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
I think that by and large it's doing much better than it was. But I think we're still seeing we're still seeing things like that felt completely impossible 5 or 6 years ago. Like Marvel movies are underperforming left, right, front, and center. It feels weird, right? But what I want to say is, I mean, I get why. I understand why. But what I wanted to say was I'm very happy to see that horror seems to still be doing okay.
You know what?
Sinners did quite well.
Yes.
I know what you did last summer is doing okay.
So I want to say that because I think that has been sneaky. Like that movie's making like $60 million.
They're
total.
saying it's going to close at 80, bro.
Yeah, and like
it was made on a $16 million budget.
I was going to say like I kind of think that movie's not getting enough credit for how well it's doing. I saw the other and I went, whoa, like there's
got legs.
Yes. Yeah. You know, and I do think that's something else to see. To pay attention to as well, because Sinners has had legs as far as horror goes. Superman is a movie that's had pretty good legs too. As we've started to shift in the way people go to the movies now, like it feels like the old days where
opening weekend does not mean everything anymore. No, it doesn't.
In fact, the front-loaded stuff tends to be disappointing as it gets longer and longer. Yep.
Yeah, the drop is nuts.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then I think like weapons, like there's a lot of buzz around weapons too.
I think that's gonna be big.
Like big.
Yeah. I've people have texted me about that. I don't want to say that aren't horror fans. I've got a couple.
But same with me. Like I've chatted with people who are not not hardcore. Like they know everything that's coming, horror movie wise and stuff. Like that are showing interest. And I'm like, okay, I think this is.
My buddy was like, I want to convince my wife to like go with me to that this weekend.
Yeah.
So
it looks sweet.
It does look good. And I liked his first movie, Barbarian.
Yep, and it's getting good reviews.
Yeah, I think it's at like 90 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
all
so
the
I'm just happy
advertisement-
to see that.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. And I'm glad you brought up I Know What You Did Last Summer because I saw that a couple days ago. Like,
Dude,
whoa.
they're predicting it's going to close at like 80.
Yeah.
That's freaking crazy.
I got
And it got off to a slow start. That opening weekend, they were like, "That there goes any sequel chances." Like,
I don't think so now. Like, they
No.
can,
No,
they
no,
can
no.
crank out another cheap one to that.
No, I think, yeah. I think if we can get, some of our legacy cast to come back, we might be all right.
Jack Black. I don't think Jack Black's coming back. If I recall.
Does Jack Black die in the second
I
one?
believe he does. Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad.
But I don't think Brandy does. Right.
Could bring Brandy back.
I haven't seen the new one yet. I have not seen.
Could
the
bring
new one.
Brandy back.
I got that. I did get the Steelbook edition of the 4K Steelbook of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Maybe this weekend. I'm actually was like gonna wait until I saw like a VOD date for the new one, and then I was like, all right, time to bust out that steel because I like to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
My hope for, I haven't seen this one either, so maybe this happens in the new one. So potential spoilers. My hope for a future I Know What You Did Last Summer movie is that there's a character with the last name Ben Grandson. Like I'm Steve Ben Grandson.
And I hope he says it like that.
Yes, Ben Grandson.
And then
everybody's suspicious of this person the whole movie. Like they're always keeping an eye on him, and it turns out he's just a dude.
they're just like Ben Grandson, like Ben Grandson.
Yeah,
and
like
then
wait a
at
second.
the end he's just like
It turns out he's like I told you guys.
he's like, hey, yeah, you want to help me out with my fantasy football team?
Yeah, he's like an okay guy.
Yeah. So good. I think that is I think that's a great thing. So, a movie that did not make a ton of bank is one we're going to talk about tonight.
Yes.
This is kind of the end of.
There's a reason that it was kind of the end of the Universal monster craze, I guess, or the reign of dominance and terror over the.
We are starting to shift into and you know what? The Creature's not a bad example of this, but we're starting to shift into more sci-fi horror around this
I
time.
think The Creature's a response to that a little bit.
Yeah, because he's the first. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon, the first one, I guess it's just Creature from the Black Lagoon. He's not the creature. He could be.
Well, he
one
hasn't
of.
established himself
Yes,
yet. Yeah.
yes, and he is just Creature. So I guess that leaves it open to there being multiple creatures from the Black Lagoon.
Could be.
Yeah. That came out in 1954. That was directed by Jack Arnold. He did a lot of 50 sci-fi films, or a couple. It was shot in 3D, so this was part of that 3D, like 1950s kind of craze. I think this is best known. I think there are a couple things to remember about this, though. It's the creature design, the Gilman costume, and the underwater cinematography was like a big thing for this time. And those scenes go on. If you haven't watched this movie in a while, those underwater scenes feel like they're never going to end.
I'm full
Give them their money's
disclosure.
worth.
I watched the underwater scenes at 1.5 times speed. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Because I remember how slow they moved.
Yes. The Creature Walks Among Us is no better than Creature from.
Yes.
The reason that is too is they are using footage in Creature Walks Among Us from the first
previous
movie
films
that they didn't use. So
they do it in the second movie too, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Which I mean, honestly, like that could. Let's just say two things, right? So the underwater photography to me is like super ahead of its time in these films as a whole. I've seen all three Creature movies, just this one recently, but it's ahead of its time in terms of what they're able to
absolutely.
do. The suit. The creature suit is way ahead of its time in terms of sophistication.
It's
like,
amazing.
You look at it and you're like, this thing is. Of course, we're black and white, and we're not watching something in 4K. So I'm sure that there were some imperfections that get kind of blurred by the time it was made. However, like, I mean, it looks just as good as any practical suit, I think, that you would see in a horror film today.
This design is iconic, and I think it very obviously, influenced an Oscar-winning film in The Shape of Water.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no question.
So, and I think, yes. So,
well, and it turned the Creature from the Black Lagoon into like a household horror name.
I think he's an instantly recognizable monster. Yeah,
exactly. You look at him. I mean, if you look at all these like Universal Monsters collaborations they have with like I don't know what different things like Care Bears. There's Care Bears.
Yeah,
Universal Monsters thing. They're really cute. Josie likes Care Bears, so I've seen those, and like. you've got your Frankenstein and your Dracula and all these things, and then there's a Creature from the Black Lagoon one.
Yes.
And what's so cool about that is like Frankenstein existed as a novel that was adapted, and Dracula again existed as a novel that was adapted, and Creature's kind of its own thing.
It's an original
work.
It's an original work. And the other thing too is they have made mummy movies in the last couple decades. They have made Frankenstein movies in the last couple decades. They have made Dracula movies in the last couple decades, last couple of years. They have not made a Creature from the Black Lagoon movie in, I don't know, like 50 years? Or
it's
like,
crazy.
What is it now? I always like in my head go back to when I was a kid, like 2000. But then I go 50. Yeah, but it's been like, holy shit, it's been like 70 years, right? They haven't made one. I mean, he's popped up in like Monster Squad.
Yeah, but even like that's about it. Like, there's not. I mean, he's like they've still made like action figures of the Creature. There's references to him in cartoons and all sorts of things like that. But there's never been like a real like concerted. There's been attempts like constantly. I mean, like I think there's been. I was looking at it and it was like the big one. Del Toro was attached to it for a long time.
And it feels like he kind of shifted that into Shape of Water.
Yes, exactly. And then plus Del Toro was attached to like every Universal monster for a while. But then like they were going different directions with it, and Joe Johnston was attached for a little while.
So this would have been after or before his Wolfman?
This would have been post Wolfman.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, like it's just a wide range of.
Weren't Landis and Rick Baker attached
way
to
early on? Yes,
way early on. Like, I would have liked to have seen. Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Well, it depends on what era of Landis that was, I guess, too. But Rick Baker, yes.
Rick Baker is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But I think just what's so interesting to me is that when you think about it, the Creature as a franchise, as a film, and as a film series. Hasn't been relevant in, like you said, 70 years.
Uh-huh.
And aside from occasional references to it here and there in like pop culture, it just hasn't been. So the fact that like this franchise has had such an impact on filmmakers all the way up to like there's still talk of somebody's working on a remake now. Last year, James Wan, he's in talks to direct a remake.
Ooh, okay.
And
so I really liked his Swamp Thing show.
And the stuff he did in Aquaman with the creepy underwater stuff was cool too. Like what were they called?
Oh, remember he was going to make a horror movie.
Yeah.
He was going to produce a horror movie called The Trench.
The Trench, that's it.
Back when they were kicking around a ton of DC stuff.
Actually 1 year ago in August of last year, it was announced that he was in talks to direct. So he's another guy who gets in talks to direct stuff a lot though too.
Yeah, he is.
So,
but I would like to see him at least get it far enough to where he could be a producer and hand it off to somebody else, because this is the monster I think I want to see them take a crack at again. Just because it's been so long, and I think there is a lot of interesting stuff you could do. And honestly, I think they do it here when it comes to environmental horror and what they want to say about ecological horror, things like that. So okay, so that was the first one. That was 1954. 1 year later, 1955 would have been Revenge of the Creature. This is when the Gill Man is he's captured in the Amazon, and he's moved to a marine park in Florida for studies. This is also directed by Jack Arnold. I don't remember this one being great, but I do remember Clint Eastwood pops up in it. It's his first role.
Yeah, it's brief, I believe.
Yes.
It's fine. It's a fine sequel.
It's been a bit. So
it's a lot of the same, honestly, mostly. So
this one, the one we're about to talk about, though, The Creature Walks Among Us. This is, I like this one a little better, and this came out a year later. So 54, 55, 56, they cranked this series out, and then it was done. And then Universal Monsters were kind of done until they would kind of show up sporadically. It's kind of like how they do now, when they just decide, let's try to get it going again.
The Dark Universe, baby.
Yeah.
So real quick, fun fact. I didn't know. Do you know where the Creature from the Black Lagoon, not this film, but just the films, the first film, where it made its debut, like what city it first screened in?
I'm gonna just take a stab and say, I'll say Detroit, Michigan.
It was Detroit, Michigan. Yeah. There you go.
That's
So in
fun-
some
fun-
ways,
fun piece of trivia.
Detroit's
do you know
the
where?
birthplace of the. I do not. I did
Okay.
not see that.
Well, I
I
assume it
would
was in-
guess that we're at wherever it is probably not existent anymore. I could be wrong. There's some old theaters around still. So
You know what? I heard a factoid today that I hadn't heard
Hmm.
before about Night of the Living Dead, and you probably had heard it. But and this kind of ties in to horror as a whole, because horror would do really well in black areas, black neighborhoods.
Sure.
Because a lot of the times those neighborhoods wouldn't get the first run big movies.
Okay. Sure.
So Night of the Living Dead was really buoyed by a black audience. Around that time, because it was an independent film and they got it, and also of course you had the black lead character as well.
Sure. Well, that couldn't have hurt.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
and it was yes.
Yeah.
So that just popped in my head.
That's cool.
So-
Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I read that and I was like, man, that's really cool. Debuted in Detroit. I did not get a name on a theater, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have to look that up. That's cool. All right, so Creature Walks Among Us. Willie, this is you've seen this one before, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
I have as well. What did you think of it this time?
Yeah. Again, I don't remember. I didn't remember a lot of this movie at all. I remember some of the underwater scenes, and I remember thinking, man, the creature looks kind of weird in this movie. Like, he's wearing clothes and he's weirdly bulky. Like, he looks like
He's got like 80s woman shoulder pads. Like,
yeah. It's
like he's like a working girl. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. But this time around, I'm happy we're capping it off with this movie, because I think this one is kind of a nice. It doesn't have everything that we've seen kind of leading up to this, but it touches on all those little things that all these Universal monster movies have done so far, where you've kind of got your classic like damsel in distress moments. You've got a little bit of romance going on here, or kind of.
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
It's weird.
It is something, isn't it?
I liked it though.
Me too.
I liked how saucy it was.
It's saucy and it's kind of nasty, like and like not always in a good way. In
Like it ends nasty too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's
I like
messy, like an adult triangle would be.
surprisingly messy for this era. Well, we're getting into this, in the 60s now.
You're gonna say so, yeah. Ladies are doing stuff now.
They're doing things. But yeah, I will say this one, I found myself a little bored here and there, if I'm being honest. Once we kind of capture the creature and he goes through his metamorphosis where he's kind of docile, that chunk of time, and it's not terribly long. This is not a terribly long film. It's like an hour
and 15, 16? Yeah.
Pretty brief. But that chunk of the runtime where he is kind of docile and just kind of walking around a zoo is not the most thrilling stuff.
It's really talky too.
There's a lot of talking.
Yes.
And
not from the creature or the goats or sheep or whatever they are.
No, they're all over the place. But what I will say is I wish they would have spent a little bit more time doing more interesting things with that part of the story. I would if they spent so much of the movie kind of touching upon, can the creature be not domesticated but like integrated?
Okay. Yeah, assimilated, integrate. Yeah.
Is he an animal? Is he a man? Is he somewhere in between? Can we kind of make him become more of a man? There's so much of that, and they don't really do anything with it. Mm-hmm. You kind of just have him putzing around in a zoo cage for. I just wish there. I wish there was more about. I think about Day of the Dead, the Romero movie. I would have liked more of like them from a science perspective, trying to like communicate with the creature and like.
Yeah.
They could have done some cool stuff there. I feel like, but we don't really ever quite get there. We
maybe
just kind of get.
Yeah.
Go
Different
ahead.
era. Maybe in a different era.
Yeah, maybe a little bit later.
Yeah.
They would have done that, but I mean, we kind of revert back by the end to just creature sees pretty woman and wants to do the King Kong thing. You know what I mean?
And I think this is very much hampered by the budget too.
Sure.
I mean, by this point, Universal was. I don't know if they're struggling, but they were definitely cutting back on spending for these kind of pictures.
Yeah. So, I do enjoy it,
and that's a theme throughout all of the sequels we've talked about too.
Oh yeah, none of these
except
were.
for like Son of Frankenstein, where they're like
that was a little bombastic.
That was the comeback though too.
Yes,
but like some of these they're cheapies. Is basically.
Yeah, Dracula's Daughter's pretty cheap.
Yes,
the Mummy one is hilarious.
Yes,
that's the funniest one we watched. I think.
Yes, it's funnier than this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one is the second funniest. So.
What's the one I'm blanking? Oh, the Invisible Man one.
I like the Invisible Man one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Vincent Price carries that movie quite a bit.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? That one's not as because that one came out right after Son of Frankenstein. I
actually kind of like that movie.
Yeah, and that one's not as cheap either. Like you're right. This one and the Mummy ones are the ones where. The Mummy ones are like, all right, guys.
It's fun though.
You're weird. It is. It's only an hour and 15 minutes long, but it feels like they're stretching it out like 20 minutes too long.
Dude, they're trying. Anyway,
that's my kind of movie, though.
Hell yeah, I enjoyed the movie. It was fun to watch it again after all these years. I haven't seen it since I was probably in elementary school.
Yes, you got a little bit of nostalgia for this one.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I watched it a handful of times for sure. On VHS, and I still had the VHS tape out in Colorado in a box, so that's fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it's I don't think it's the best of the films we watched during our summer series. I think it's probably better than The Mummy's Ghost. It hovers around. It's low mid in the range, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I was surprised by the subplot of the
threesome.
Well, they don't actually get down like that.
Right.
It's not Dr. Odyssey.
But would they? Do you think these? No, these three. I don't know if these.
I don't think I could pull it off.
Oh, definitely not. I don't know.
By the triangle.
Yeah, the dudes are too uptight. Yeah.
No. Anyway, but so I was surprised. I don't like as a kid that all went over my head. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it overall, and I think the creature effects still hold up. Funny enough, particularly the stock footage of the first movie. But
now I'm trying to think. I think
looks good.
I think Jed might be down for the Devil's Threesome. I think.
Which one is he?
Jed is he's like the guide.
He would you know what though? He would probably he would agree to it, but I feel like he'd kind of like wind up kind of pushing the other fella. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I think. I don't think
he'd find a way to be like here, all right, let me take over for him.
He
and then before you know it.
Yeah,
the husband's in the corner, just
in the chair,
sad. Yeah, the shame chair. Yeah. I got a chair in the corner of this basement. Funny enough.
Oh my god,
it's kind of weird. Never thought of that until just now. It's not a cuck chair, I promise. That's the cat's chair.
The cat chair, yes.
The cat does sit on the chair.
We'll move on. Sorry,
I'm like, wait, I have a chair in the corner. Like, that's kind of strange.
That's the I believe the Dr. William Barton chair.
It is. Yes. From now on, I'm going to print out a little sign for above it. Yes.
It's where you will sit and watch Jed and Marcia get down.
Get down.
So yeah. We can just go through this. I will. Yeah. We'll go through the plot. I took this plot summary from Turner Classic Movies because I liked it. It was a little longer than the Wikipedia entry.
I love that. Perfect.
So, and I'll give my thoughts as we go.
Sure.
I'm in a similar boat as you.
Yeah.
Dr. William Barton, the man himself, who will sit in the chair, leads an expedition to capture the Gill Man, a dangerous half-man, half-fish creature that lives in the Amazon's Black Lagoon. Bill and his... Yeah.
There's some continuity between these movies, which I appreciate.
I like that, too.
There's no continuity with characters. They don't really kind of transfer, I don't think, between the films that I can recall. But the creature always winds up kind of where you left him off. So I appreciate that. yeah.
And the creature, as we get towards the end, we'll point it out. He has a bit of an arc over these 3 movies.
He
too.
does, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Bill and his young wife Marcia join the rest of the team, including geneticist Dr. Thomas Morgan, biochemist Dr. Borg,
Cool.
lab technician Dr. Johnson, and guide Jed Grant,
There he
who
is.
warns the group that the Gill-Man is too deadly to control, regardless of their state-of-the-art equipment, and a new sedative called Rotenol, which, by the way, is just milk. I was doing some research, and it's just like Rotenol is just like milk.
Here's what I'll say. Here's why I like Jed.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he a little skeevy? Yeah, a little bit. Does he lay it on a little thick? Sure does. He might even get a handsy once or twice.
Yeah, he's a bit of a problem there.
A little bit. But not once did he grab that Rotenol and go Cosby. He didn't.
He's thinking it took us the 50s.
It popped in his head. And I'm sorry to make that joke, but somebody has to Jed has some degree of decency as a man. The Rotenol's laying all over the place.
Yeah.
Or he could have knocked out the husband for.
Let me ask you, how horny do you think Jed is? Do you think if there was a female creature from the Black Lagoon, do you think he would be down?
I think he would. I think if the conditions were right, sure.
I don't think he's like my man from Hellraiser.
No. I think Jed just likes excitement and adventure. Okay. I think Jed likes chasing the white whale. I like Jed. I think Jed, his biggest kind of thrill is the unknown and the unattainable.
Yes.
Because he's like warning them against the Gill-Man, but he joins the crew. So there's an excitement. He wants to be a part of that.
And that's why he's into Marcia too.
The thrill of the hunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's got a man.
She's unattainable. He likes that.
I got a man. What's your man got to do with me? I got a man.
I do not have a Cosby joke on my bingo card for.
There's another thing I want to point out too from this early section of the movie, and it's probably why Jed is so attracted to Marcia. There is a moment in the movie where they go out and she's just on the deck of the boat and she's just firing a shotgun in the water.
Yeah, what was that about? What's she up to?
I don't.
It's interesting to see though the progression. Go ahead.
They're not in Florida at the time either. Right. They're in the Amazon,
the Everglades.
So maybe she's just. So she is. They are in Florida at that time because the Everglades. They're not in the Amazon yet, right? So in Florida, right. I assume you can just do that. You can just. Start
you can now for sure. For sure.
The Amazon, I could think she would do it just as hell yeah.
I don't think they're in the Amazon at that point.
No, I think it's in Florida that she's firing off.
What I will say, what I find interesting about through the course of these movies where we wind up with our female characters, is they still we don't really ever get past the damsel in distress stuff. I will say Dracula's Daughter is a different beast because of our antagonist being a woman, but
yeah,
I will say there's more of a concerted effort to make, as these movies go on in terms of the years they came out. There's more of a concerted effort to give the women some agency, at least. You never see them defeating the creature in these movies, but they're at least part of they're part of the final act of the film beyond just being a victim or helpless. Does that?
No, I actually kind of I kind of like Marcia as the movie goes on.
Yes,
because you're right, she is given a little something to do, and she starts to have her own. Yeah, personality.
Yeah.
So back to the plot. During the trip, the rakish Jed attempts to seduce Marcia.
Rakish.
No, if you replace a letter in there, you got what you think. Here's the thing. Because of that great joke, there's no way I can cut out that Cosby joke you just made either. Because now we've referred back to.
I know. What's funny is off air. I'm like, we should probably cut the Cosby joke. I am not trying to make light of
Too bad now. Attempts to seduce Marcia, who continually spurns him. Yeah, I mean, she is hose this fucker down. After they finally
he is a bit much. I will say
yes. I'm Team Marcia all the way here. Get back off, bro.
Yep.
After they finally reach the Amazon, Jed takes the men to the home of Martino, a local man. He's a Portuguese man who was brutally attacked by the creature. Okay, so I want to say something about this brutal attack. It is just a light scratch on the cheek.
Yeah, he's got the classic movie scar, right?
Yes,
where like he's been like, you know, when you got a facial scar, you've been through some things.
It is either either that or he got slapped at the bar.
It's possible he was drunk and he did not experience any of what he's saying.
Yes. He fell into a bunch of sticks. Yeah,
absolutely, and he just cut his face a little bit. This is the old school movie equivalent of the new thing in movies, where like at the end of the movie, when our heroes have been through it all, you know, they fought back against their would be killer and stuff. They've been stabbed, shot, whatever, right? They're beat to hell. The paramedics just give them one of those warming weighted blankets, and they're fine. It's the same thing.
Back at the boat, Bill reveals his plan to mutate the Gillman's blood in order to form a new, more advanced form of life, which he hopes will be more suited to life in space. So yes, because this is the 1950s, we have to tie this somehow into space travel.
I like old Bill here because none of what he's saying makes any sense.
No, but he's shooting for the stars.
He's going for it. Yeah.
No, and part of the issue with the movie is they keep trying to explain what the fuck he's talking about.
There's no science behind any of it. Yeah. That's why, like I would have found it more interesting, at least if they had taken more of a psychological approach with it instead of like, we're going to mutate the creature. But that goes back to the sci-fi swing of things too. They're trying to throw out words like mutation in deep space and stuff like that to try and make audiences go, "Oh, cool! It's a sci-fi movie."
For Trek fans, there's this thing called Treknobabble, kind of like a play on Technobabble,
sure.
And it's in Star Trek when the writers, because they were in the time they were. They didn't have a reason why these, like, it didn't make sense why something might happen, so they just came up with some bullshit to throw out there. But this movie is like if Star Trek spent an entire episode trying to explain what it was that term was. Like, they just kept like going like, no, here's why that made sense.
They say the word and then they're like, hey, but I want to explain to you guys. Yeah.
You're like, just move on, guys. It's okay. We're all along for the ride here.
We don't care anymore.
Horrified, Tom warns Bill that they cannot bypass nature, but only make it safer for humankind. Okay, so this is where we start getting those underwater shots we talked about. Those are all repurposed from the first movie.
Awesome shots.
Yeah.
Again, they go on for a long time.
I think the act, like that creature... That costume only appears in this sequence from the first movie because then they change it into the newer.
Which is not as good.
No, there are some things I like about it.
Yeah.
But it's not as good. When there is a part, we'll get to it in a second. But the underwater stuff looks cool. I love the way the creature swims.
He looks cool. Yeah.
He's always like doing backstrokes and stuff.
He's very graceful.
He's having fun. Like, he's like
that.
enjoying swimming.
Yeah, he's not like chasing him down necessarily. He's like, I'm going to do some cool... Like, it's like water aerobics or synchronized swimming moves. Yeah,
he'd be like an Olympian. Most of the musical cues in this film were written by Henry Mancini. He was a young composer on the lot. Henry Mancini might be best known for the Pink Panther score. So, and ended up being a very famous composer in film. Once in the Black Lagoon, a bored Marcia insists on diving with Tom and Jed despite Bill's attempts to stop her. Marcia is bored. You would think
Bill
she
is problematic too. Let's just start there too. All
Bill's
the men in
Bill's
Marcia's life.
Yeah.
All the men in Marcia's life are problematic.
I want her to move on from both of these gentlemen.
I think it's in her best interest to get out of there.
Yes. Yeah. While Tom and Jed search underwater for the Gillman, Borg speaking of Star Trek, identifies the Gillman on the sonar. But he has grown craftier since his last experience with the humans, and he eludes his grasp.
Craftier.
So this is something I do like, though, is like they mentioned that, but like the Gillman has learned at least a little bit, and I kind of dig that.
Yeah, he's kind of... Well, he's had a couple, run-ins with the humans too, so he's a bit more elusive than he used to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not as willing to put up with their crap for now.
After Marcia dives too far down, she collapses, but Tom rescues her from the water and the Gillman. He carries her to the cabin where he counsels her not to take risks, and she explains that when she married Bill, she was only a teenager, and now it is too late to live the life she wants.
There's a lot of skeeviness.
This is kind of a bit of problematic of a film. Marcia. So she's wearing a very weird swimsuit. Here the material looks like some sort of sweater. I think there was also a white swimsuit in the first one. I don't remember it being this material.
Swimsuits were weird back in the day.
I would think this would be very uncomfortable. You would chafe quite
Probably
a bit.
Is. Most women's clothing is.
Yes.
Well, it still is probably.
Yes.
But certainly was.
I just can't imagine going like, man, I'm going for a nice swim today. Let me pick out this like knit sweater.
This fuzzy sweater.
One piece.
Yeah, no, I mean, that does not sound pleasant. Yeah, it's we're also in that weird kind of, again, transitional period in terms of what we can get away with showing in films. And
yeah, you're right.
because I don't know when the two-piece bathing suit became popular. I'm not a historian on on
I
bathing
always
suits.
feel like in film the first one is like Dr. No,
Which would have been
1963.
So not terribly.
We're starting to get into kind of the sexual revolution when it comes to this.
Yeah. So you have to wonder if there was like talk about, you know what I mean? Like what are we going to put her in for this underwater scene? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know. No, I wouldn't have done that. Fuzzy is weird. But
I do want to talk I don't even want to talk just a second, but I do want to mention a fun bit of trivia. This is written by Arthur Ross, who was a science fiction writer as well. Basically, he had a new baby and needed the money. So with this movie, I actually kind of like some of the script. I believe the new baby, I don't know if it would have been. So his son is Gary Ross, who is a director.
Oh.
Gary Ross directed movies like Pleasantville and Seabiscuit.
Yeah, Gary Ross.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the most recent one he did was Ocean's 8, but I think he directed one of the Hunger Games.
Ocean's 8, is that the female-led?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think that was the last movie Gary Ross, but he's worked for a while.
I love Pleasantville.
Yeah, Pleasantville is great.
Yeah.
He directed Seabiscuit. I liked Seabiscuit as well. He's got a movie coming out with. Oh, it's directed by Rupert Wyatt, huh?
Rupert Wyatt.
Oh, Rupert Wyatt did the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That's where I know him from. He did the screenplay. Gary Wyatt did. Okay, sorry, or Gary Ross. So I don't know if this would have been the kid that was like costing him all the money. But you know what? Hey, it ended up working out all right. That's for awesome. Arthur Ross. I think with this movie is one of those weird movies that sometimes happens, especially with older movies and some newer movies, where like I'm interested in moments and it's like kind of a fun watch, but it's also super fucking boring at times.
It's weird. Yeah, it's a weird watch. But I think that's what I was saying too. Is like there's so many things that are kind of interesting in their little spurts here and there.
Yeah,
I legitimately do think, like all jokes aside, I legitimately do think the whole love triangle thing could be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's moments when it is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that especially because Marcia is the only one in the right.
Yeah.
I think some of the idea of like trying to rehabilitate the creature, for lack of a better term, is really interesting. But it doesn't really outweigh like the really kind of like all that stuff either like doesn't go far enough or overstays its welcome. Like one or the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after Tom leaves, a jealous Bill enters and warns her never to make a fool out of him. Have you ever told anyone don't make a fool out of me?
No, I don't think so. Not in those words.
I know. I can't even.
I'm trying to think. I'm sure I've told somebody at some point, like, "Hey, you may look like an idiot. Can we not do that again?" I'm sure I've said something like that.
Yes.
But then I got older and I was like, I can make myself look like an idiot enough. That's fine.
That night, the crew follows the Gill Man into a narrow waterway where they are forced to drop anchor and move onto a small speedboat. They track the creature further into the water, then drop the rotenol, but a misstep results in a small fire, which burns the creature. All right, I do want to mention this part. That fire part is pretty sick.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And
the burn's really good.
The way the costume looks too, it's kind of like slick, black, and oily. So he kind of looks like an oil slick,
it's
kind
sweet.
of.
Yeah.
He looks really cool in that.
I like that sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And by then you're kind of going, okay, I want to catch the creature now. Like,
yes,
we got to get there. Yeah.
Yes,
so.
The sequence is pretty good. That's kind of what I mean. Is like every once in a while, like a part of this movie will like grab.
I like perk up.
Yeah,
like, yeah, absolutely.
After he passes out, the crew brings him to the lab where they cover his burns with bandages, but note that his gills have been destroyed and he can no longer take in much oxygen.
He looks like the Invisible Man in this scene.
They wrap, so that's an actual person in there, and they wrap whoever that is so tight.
It's like I would freak out.
That poor guy, unless he's taking some Rotenol, it is just like
I'm out. I would be freaked out.
Yes.
I'll tell you that.
I also love that they mentioned in the movie don't shoot him in any vital area, and then the dude just aims right for his heart.
Yeah. Right. That's the guy's first day on the job.
So this is the last we see of the original design.
Yeah. It's gone pretty quick. Yep.
This the design was originally, there is a book called The Lady from the Black Lagoon, and it's about Millicent Patrick, who was one of the first women to design a Hollywood movie monster, and that monster is the Gill-Man. She did not receive credit fully until this book came out. Credit was kind of taken from her by, if you can believe it, men that also worked on the Gill-Man. But I would recommend this book to any fans of horror or just film in general.
What's the book called?
It is called The Lady from the Black Lagoon.
That's awesome.
And it goes out to give her. She actually also worked on, she had a background in illustration before this. She worked on Disney's Fantasia. And so she kind of had a career before that as well. So she really put together that. She was very responsible for that look. I think maybe one of the issues with this movie we're talking about tonight is seeing that design and how perfect it is, and then seeing the second half design once the bandages are taking off. And there are parts where I think it kind of works because of what they're going for in the plot of the movie, but it is
the execution is not the best.
Right.
I do think he looks a little bit ridiculous with the shoulder pads and kind of this weird kind of oversized suit that he's wearing. That's what really gets me. I actually don't mind the design of the gills kind of being shaved down and things because it carries on with the idea that okay, we have a more humanoid creature now, right? And I'm cool with that. But it just
even the rubberiness of it kind of works for me because he's on land, so he's kind of dried out.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of oh, okay, it should look kind of fake.
It looks kind of unhealthy.
Yes.
And I like that. The big weird shoulders and stuff would just get me every time.
He looks like a linebacker. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because he's actually if you watch him in those underwater scenes, he's very sleek and he's kind of able to. And I understand he's on land, so he'd be a little more lumbering and out of his element, but he wouldn't
You're right. He looks bloated now.
Yeah, it's weird.
He's like a week-long bender, and he's just
I guess I don't know why it's so big.
Yeah.
There's no costume under it, right?
It's because it's not the plot reason, but it's because he's played by a different actor. Too. It's because it's a different person playing.
Yeah.
In those underwater scenes. So
I might have cast somebody a little more slim.
I would agree. They should cast that dude we talked about in the Tiny Terror for the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Just before the creature suffocates, Bill realizes he has small lungs and performs a tracheotomy to help him breathe. I'm sorry. That sentence was just funny to me. I don't know why. I read it as Bill realizes he himself had small lungs.
Oh, wow, they're tiny.
The operation is a success.
I can only hold my breath for 10 seconds.
And the next day, the doctors discover a layer of human skin under the Gill-Man's burnt scales. One of the cool things that I think there's a quote from the writer that I liked is he said, well, we've had 2 movies explaining the half fish portion of the creature.
Yeah.
I want to explore the half man.
That's cool.
And I do like that.
I dig that.
Further tests reveals that first the creature's metabolism and then his eyes are also mutating to become more human. Over the next few days, while Tom urges Bill to treat the Gill-Man with kindness, Bill warily notes Jed's interest in Marcia. All right, so yeah,
literally he is so this guy Bill, old corner chair Bill, was at some point I think I'm going to believe that he was a legitimate scientist at some point. Okay,
right.
He seems very well versed in mutation. and space.
Yes.
And
he majored in
things.
mutation and space.
And space, yes. He's very much a science guy.
Yes.
In the true Hollywood fashion.
Much like another Bill Nye.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I love that he's, his quest was, we're going to find this creature and we're going to capture the creature, and then we're going to experiment with the creature, and we're going to make humanity's lives better.
Yeah.
Through my scientific prowess.
In mutation and space.
And all this. And so he's done all this so far. He's got the creature and all that. And they got, he could begin his research, and then instead he's just like, why are you looking at my wife like that? Like he's
there
lost.
is something human about that too.
For sure. I joke, but I do kind of love that.
Yeah.
All of his goals are like out the window at this point. His goal is like keep old Rex or whatever his name is away from my. Yeah. That's all he cares about.
All right, so a little bit about the these three, and then the director, real quick. John Sherwood worked mostly as an assistant director. He was the director of this movie. He worked for Universal Pictures. He was also, I believe, an assistant director on This Island Earth, which I'll be mentioning a couple times as we go through this. He did not, I think he only directed like 3 or 4 movies by himself. He is very much Universal was like, we got to have someone point a camera at this script. And that's what it is. I think he might be part of my issue with this movie, which is I don't think he's a very particularly great director. He
he doesn't stand out in any way.
No. And you know what? I like a lot of workman-like directors, but I wouldn't even count him as he's just kind of like a dude that will shoot a movie with a camera. Jeff Morrow, who played Dr. Bill Barton, he popped up a year prior in This Island Earth with Rex Reason, who played Dr. Thomas. He was also in this. So then I want to talk about Marcia real quick.
Sure.
She was not in This Island Earth, but she got her. This is taken from Wikipedia, but it is sourced. So I did. But she got her big break in show business. She was on the Jack Benny Christmas show that was televised from the San Diego Naval Base. When she walked out on stage, that naval base turned into the Christina Applegate Married with Children audience.
They were just going laugh track.
Yeah, Awooga. They were just going
She's very beautiful.
And
very
so,
beautiful. Yes. I get it.
According to Wikipedia legend, 11 Hollywood studios contacted her the next day. And the headline, there was a newspaper headlines that says, "Sailors' whistles blow blonde into film studio."
Good for her. Good for her.
She didn't have a long career. She only acted for about a decade or so. She died of cancer at the age of 52, so young. I like her in this though.
Me too.
And I kind of feel for her because she is caught between two just complete lunatics.
Yeah, they're nuts. They're nuts. I'm not even sure which one is the scarier one of the two.
No.
But yeah, she's stuck between them. And boy, does it really boil over.
I believe. Yeah, coming up right here.
Uh-huh.
One day, the doctors discover that the Gill Man is growing fingers where he once had flippers.
Mm-hmm.
And during a celebratory party that night, Tom states that although the creature's skin has changed, his nature has not, and that they all stand at the crossroads between the jungle and the stars. What a weird line.
Oh, now you're into science again. Okay. I also love that he's done nothing. They're celebrating what? You pulled him out of the water, and you just let nature take its course. So funny to me. It's not like he was giving him all sorts of I love it so much. They put some bandages on him, and they went maybe he'll mutate.
After Bill grows inebriated, the party breaks up, and he later raves at Marcia that she is untrustworthy and worthless. Yeah, Bill is not a
nice guy.
Yeah. In the middle of the night, Jed discovers at a spot. You know who Marcia should seek out?
I call him Rex. It's Jed. I called him Rex earlier. I don't know why.
Well, there's a Rex Reason in
That's
this
right.
movie. You know who Marcia should seek out is our man from The Mummy. The Mummy himself. He's a loyal gentleman.
Right? Yeah, I think they get along. But he's got his queen now, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he'd take on a harem.
In the swamps.
In the middle of the night, Jed discovers a despondent Marcia pacing the hallway and aggressively pursues her. In the lab, the Gillman, they're all drunk here. The Gillman,
this never ends well.
No, the Gillman, now clothed, revives and manages to unlock the door. Hearing Marcia plead for Jed to leave her alone, the creature comes to her rescue, knocking out Jed and then heading for the water. So good for the creature here.
I mean, honestly, like he seems to be like the one person who actually has like
some
her best interest in mind.
Yes, he likes her.
Who cares about how she feels? Yeah.
Yeah. The movie is dragging at this point though, and
yes, we need to get.
it's
one of those. Yeah, we got.
As weird as this love triangle, I would even call it a love triangle. Like as weird as this messy,
obsessive,
crazy weirdo, like
toxic.
Yes, this toxic, triangle is going. I'm just like, hey, can we just like get moving here?
Yeah, let the creature loose.
And he does move like a linebacker.
He does.
The men wake, and Tom, realizing that the Gillman can no longer breathe in the water, dives in after him and wrestles him until the creature passes out. Under Tom's watch, the team treats the Gillman gently, and the creature grows more docile. There's a bit of a nature versus nurture theme here. Soon after, they reach Bill's waterside ranch in Sausalito, California. We're jumping all over the globe here.
We're like this is like a globe-trotting
Bond
adventure.
movie, yeah. Where the Gillman placidly walks into a cage from which he can see the house and the ocean. I wouldn't have taken him near water. I would have taken him to what's like a landlocked, like
it's a horrible idea.
Like Montana or something.
Yeah, take him to like Wyoming.
Yes.
You know,
I'm not getting this guy around.
No, maybe a stream or something, but like
the creature from the stream. Bill sneers at the notion that violence stems from fear and rants that loyalty is often returned with infidelity.
Oh God, yeah, he's off the rocker now.
Yeah, he's not even talking about what's going on.
No, he's everybody's looking at him like, are we still talking about the creature? Are we still talking about the thing out there?
Later, Tom tells Marcia that Bill is disturbed, yes, but she feels helpless to change him and sympathizes with the caged Gillman. When she leaves for a swim, Bill calls her a tramp, and the Gillman watches as an unwelcome Jed joins her at the shore. Just then, a mountain lion leaps into the creature's cage, and frightened, the Gillman attacks it viciously. Okay, so I do want to say something.
Yeah, he messes that line up.
But I want to say something about the description. He is not, like, the lion is going to attack the goats behind, like, because he's just, like, hanging out with goats at this point.
Yeah, and the Gillman's not frightened. The Gillman's like, I'm going to kill this lion.
He's going to kill a lion, and he's also going to protect, he's trying to protect the
These
sheep.
goats seem all right. Yeah,
yes.
Or whatever, yeah.
And I believe this is I kind of like the bit, too. I actually really do like this part where Marcia's just kind of, she's getting away from these two psychos, and she's up there with a guitar, and she's kind of, like, serenading the monster with the
I like... Yeah. And this just struck me, and I might sound insane here. No more insane than I've sounded tonight. Anyway, I like this parallel between Marcia and the Gillman.
Me too.
You've got two characters, right?
Yeah.
Who are now torn and stuck between these two opposing forces that are calling for them, right? She's stuck between, these two men who think that they own her.
Yeah.
And here's the poor Gillman, who's got a house on one side and the water on the other side, and he too is trapped.
Yeah,
they're trapped together.
And
it's beautiful.
You know who the real enemy are? The men in this.
Yeah,
like they're the
human
ones.
Men.
Yeah, they're the ones that are trying to essentially strip this being of his. Oh, you know what? They're trying to strip both of them of their own agency.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's definitely a parallel here. I like this.
There's a little bit too around this time. I mean, we're in the Cold War around this time. There's man and nature and loss of identity. That's what we're all worried about around this time. So you've got that to play with. There's also the assimilation of culture. I think you can dig in a little bit too. Do you remember? Did your teachers ever teach you about the melting pot versus the salad bowl in America? I think there's a little bit of that at play here too. Where
oh my God, I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Yeah, where like America isn't so much a melting pot because it's all of these different cultures, like a salad bowl, bringing their own flavors is how it should be looked at instead of like
nothing's just merging together. It's different, for sure.
And I think what these people want to do, what these two men want to do, is change the Gillman into they want him to be the melting pot,
and he's a salad bowl.
When really, yes, he should be.
I think the Gillman would get down on a salad, nice Caesar salad.
Do you think he'd like that? Yeah,
I think he would. Yeah.
I think he'd probably be a vegetarian, right?
I think so. I don't think he eats meat.
I don't think so either.
No, he's never trying to take a chunk.
Well, he probably eats like fish, and so he's probably a pescatarian, right?
Yeah, I like that pescatarian. Yep.
Yeah, I tried to be pescatarian. That's probably the closest I could be. I tried.
Do you like fish?
What's that?
Do you like fish?
I do like fish.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
There was like a month. I think there was like a month or two where I was able to like go like vegetarian. And then I went to like B-dubs. I'm like, I can't fucking do this.
Yeah, I get it.
But like then I had a good stretch where I was pescatarian for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could pull that off.
It would be doable. Yeah.
But it's too late now. I'm already like I've already.
It's over now.
When everybody runs to the cage, Bill sees Jed wet hair and agitated, later insists that he leave. Jed taunts Bill about Marcia, and Bill flies into a rage and kills him in view of the creature.
What does he kill him with?
I don't remember. Well,
He kind of whacks him on the back a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was just like a beam or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
After Bill dumps Jed's body in the creature's cage, the creature, inflamed by violence, breaks free and pursues Bill into the house. After a prolonged chase, the Gill Man throws Bill off the balcony and then escapes from the ranch. The next day, the scientists gather, and although Borg bemoans the fact that the experiment failed, Tom points out that the creature did not revert to his base instincts until after he was provoked. While Tom promises to visit Marcia soon, they receive notice that the Gill Man has been spotted heading toward the coast. I want to say this as I'm going to go to try to find more TCM synopsis because
very nice synopsis.
Yeah, they did a very good job. Whoever
actually
did that.
treated the synopsis very respectfully.
Yes.
Sometimes those Wikipedia ones are like, man, come on. Like,
yeah.
I mean, not every movie deserves the TCM breakdown.
Right.
That was good. I like that. Yeah, look, fun movie. It definitely has its slow spots, but I would say overall, I think it's interesting. I think it's worth a watch. I think all these ones that we watched are worth a watch. I don't think anything is. I think it's a matter of like, if you're going to check one out, I think the sequels probably aren't the place to start.
Right.
Certainly, just judging by what we've seen, but I don't think you can go wrong necessarily with any of these. Just know that you have to be able to enjoy and appreciate movies from this era.
Yeah.
If you can't, it's not even worth trying. Yeah, I did enjoy this one overall. I would say the ones that I feel like I could revisit at some point.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the series as a whole? Yeah.
Son of Frankenstein, I think I would watch again. And I think that one largely for me is buoyed by the Bela Lugosi performance.
Yeah.
In that one. Dracula's Daughter, I thought it was actually probably the most interesting of the movies, and I'd actually like to rewatch that again.
Okay.
Just to like see if I can pick up any more of this. There's a lot of subtext in that movie. There's a lot going on with the themes of addiction, and there's some of the lesbian undertones happening in there. Like, I think there's a lot more to that movie than it actually than I even got on first watch. And then I really enjoyed The Invisible Man as well, because the Invisible Man Returns, because I think Vincent Price is so fun, and especially considering like it's just his voice most of the film, but his voice is so great that like he carries that movie for me as well. If you're looking for a laugh, I think certainly this one's not bad for a solid laugh, especially the love triangle stuff is hilarious.
Yeah,
and then Mummy's Ghost is very funny.
These are the two where like sometimes people like to look for. I think like the old like midnight, like the old Svengoolie, like the old midnight show. This one, and I'm sure this one of the Mummy's Ghost probably played on Svengoolie many times.
Yeah.
But like if you're looking for that style of Universal horror movie or old horror movie, these are the two to watch.
I would agree.
Those are the two to watch. Yeah.
Yep.
I think if you're looking for something a little deeper, Son of Frankenstein and Dracula's Daughter are probably the way to go.
Yes.
And then if you're looking for a pretty decent watch, I'm with you. Invisible Man Returns. I
kind
think
of mid-range, a
little
bit of in between. There's some campiness to Invisible Man Returns, but there's enough of a story to keep you invested. So yeah.
I think overall this was a successful series. Right?
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm definitely ready to take a break from this era, because once you've watched so many, you're like, okay, I need to get back to something else, But no, I enjoyed it.
I want to get on my soapbox for a second here.
Yes, please.
If you allow me. Part of the reason I'm glad we did this, though, too, is we have been doing movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And as I go through a lot of the most popular streaming services, like I was scrolling through Netflix the other day looking for something older to watch, and there is like 5 movies prior
disappearing.
To. It's like like nobody wants to put old stuff on their services anymore. And I get it from a business standpoint, but it's also a big bummer for me because like I've ranted about this before, but like if Universal owns Peacock, I would really love to see all of the Universal Monster movies available on that service, but you don't see that. Like they're not on there.
I mean, we're living in a day and age, where streaming services are pulling, canceling a season of something or a show, and then pulling that show off entirely now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, some people want to watch that. Like,
absolutely,
and it's gone.
Uh-huh. And
I know, okay, like I see it on the internet. Like, oh, sail the seven seas, blah blah blah. I'm like, but you shouldn't have to do that. Though.
No,
that's
no.
my
Part
point.
Part of the promise of this streaming stuff 7 or 8 years ago now was that all of the stuff could be available somewhere. Like it would be available, and now it's like you can rent it if you search it out. But you're right, some of the stuff like you can't find. Like you can't even like you do have to go on the motion that is daily or the archive of the internet. Yeah, you have to really look it out, and that sucks.
Yeah, there's a level of and I'm certainly no prophet, but it's something I was always worried about with the transition into streaming and digital is like, God, like there's a certain film preservation element to it too, where I'm like,
yeah,
I want to be able to watch like. I don't know, Escape from L.A. I want to, like, what if that's just not on any streaming services?
And the bummer,
like,
too...
I want to watch it,
and that goes along... The bummer, too, about the death of video stores and the death of just, like, regular cable TV or TV in general, you can't stumble across anything anymore. It's really hard to just, like... You have to, like, to watch one of these movies... I don't know how a younger person would do it if they're not actively looking it out.
Them, yes.
If they're like, oh, I'm going to watch all of the Universal Monster movies, you can't just you can't just turn on Netflix and one of these movies will be playing. Like back in the day, you could turn on Channel 7 and this would be on.
Like, oh, what is this weird movie with the monster and a?
Or you could go to the video store and be like, hey, what is this? What is this movie about a love triangle and
a sea creature? Yeah, for sure.
So to get out, that's the end of my little mini rant there, but I'm happy we did this because maybe even in a year from now, someone will come across it and go, "What are these guys talking about?" Yeah, I would like to I like keeping the flame alive for some of these.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool, and I'm glad we did it. And I have not seen, other than this one, I have not seen these movies, so it's fun to get to watch some of the Universal stuff that I haven't seen before. I would watch more. I mean, I would certainly. I'm going to take a break here, for now, but I would certainly go and watch more of the sequels and stuff like that and see which ones I liked and which ones I didn't like, and yeah, for sure.
Cool,
man. We kind of talked a little bit about maybe just taking a break from reviewing stuff.
I was going to say we could either do a new movie or I kind of wanted to do something different, like just like a bracket or
we could do some sort of bracket. We do like maybe a fall and winter movie roundup. I don't know. We didn't do it. We did a summer one at one point, didn't we?
I think so. Yeah.
We could do one of those, maybe what's coming out the rest of the year. What do you want to see?
You know what'd be kind of fun too is to play into the theme. We could take a look at like a year, maybe something like 20 years ago, and compare and contrast.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. So what we could do is maybe we could take.
Or maybe we could even do a couple of years and kind of go through.
Yeah. Let's do maybe we take the September through December of this year, right?
Yeah.
And then we take September through December of the year I was born and the year you were born.
Well, that's fun.
And
too.
we say, which movie are you going to go see that weekend?
Ooh.
The one that's out right now, or the one that was?
You know what? That's fun. Yeah, I can do this, and that's fun. I enjoy.
Could be kind of fun.
Let's do that.
Or we could do that. Yeah.
Okay,
I like that.
We'll settle on.
We'll figure it out.
We'll do this year for sure.
I don't know if we'll just do. Maybe we'll do the full year.
Yeah,
and
we might get super into that idea too.
It could be a lot of fun. All right, cool.
It
just came to me.
That is fun.
All
right. Well, we'll see you then. Stay safe and stay safe.